This week in NASCAR just feels heavy. Like, not the kind of week where we're arguing about setups or celebrating a photo finish. This is the kind of week where you just sit back and go, wow, this changes things. We are looking at a situation that has absolutely shaken the entire garage to its core. Two massive shockwaves have hit the sport in a matter of days. Before we dive into the details, I need to say something important. If you're a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. We're building a community of passionate fans who care about the real stories happening behind the scenes. Your support means absolutely everything to me as we navigate these unprecedented times together. Let's get into this first situation, which is undeniably the most shocking news we have heard in modern racing history. NASCAR has officially issued a lifetime ban to a top driver. Yes, you heard that right, a permanent ban. This is not a temporary penalty or a fine. They have decided to suspend him indefinitely, but the wording makes it clear that this driver will never sit in a stock car again. Fans simply cannot believe it. The timeline of how this unfolded is wild. It started with rumors swirling around the paddock during practice. Everyone thought it was just another minor infraction, maybe a technical violation regarding car setups, or something minor found in post-race inspection. But then the official press release dropped, citing a severe violation of Section 4.3c of the rulebook. For those who do not actively memorize the regulations, Section 4.3c deals with extreme detrimental conduct and actions that compromise the integrity of the entire sport. NASCAR had to step in and draw a line. They had to show that accountability matters, regardless of a driver's star status or pole position statistics. This completely alters the trajectory of the season and the playoff cut line. Teams are scrambling right now. The drivers' team immediately released a statement acknowledging the severe consequences of the situation. It is incredibly frustrating to witness a career end so abruptly due to poor decisions. It sucks for the crew members who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into building competitive race cars every single week. It sucks for the sponsors who invested millions of dollars into the chase for a championship. The fallout is massive, and we will be feeling the impact of this decision for years to come. Some fans are furious, claiming the punishment is too harsh, while others believe NASCAR had no other choice but to protect its reputation. When you are pushing the limits both on and off the track, there are bound to be severe repercussions. This lifetime ban serves as a terrifying warning to everyone in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. Nobody is untouchable. Now let's talk about the second story, because this one is completely different but equally heartbreaking for those involved. While the garage was busy processing the lifetime ban, another huge bombshell dropped regarding a completely separate driver dealing with a severe medical emergency. We are talking about a sudden and dangerous bout of disorientation and vertigo that forced a prominent driver to pull out of the race weekend entirely. Imagine preparing all week, studying the track, getting your mindset right, and then suddenly the world starts spinning. Vertigo is incredibly dangerous, especially when you are driving at speeds approaching 200 miles per hour in heavy traffic. The team had to make the difficult but entirely necessary decision to sideline him. This brings up a lot of empathy for the driver. It is not a consequence of bad behavior. It is just terrible luck and a stark reminder of how fragile a racing career can actually be. The medical staff evaluated him and determined that putting him behind the wheel would be a massive safety risk to himself and every other competitor on the track. So, they had to find a last-minute replacement to step in and drive the car. They called up a veteran driver who was already at the track, asking him to shake things up and salvage some points for the team. It is a high-pressure situation for everyone involved. The substitute driver has zero practice time in that specific car and must rely purely on instinct and experience. It is just another chaotic layer added to a weekend that was already overflowing with drama. So yeah, two stories, two completely different reasons for why two major drivers are suddenly out of the driver's seat. One is facing the ultimate penalty for crossing a line that NASCAR has drawn in the sand, effectively ending his time in the sport forever. The other is battling a scary physical condition that demands patience and recovery before he can even think about returning to competition. Both situations leave enormous voids in the starting grid and drastically alter the championship picture. You really have to stop and think about how quickly things can change in professional motorsports. One minute you are fighting for wins and securing sponsorships, and the next minute you are either banned for life or sidelined by your own body. It makes you appreciate the dedication and the sheer unpredictability of this sport. As fans, we invest so much emotion into cheering for these guys, buying their merchandise, and defending them in debates. When things like this happen, it feels like a collective loss for the community. It forces us to ask some very difficult questions about the future. Will the banned driver ever attempt an appeal, even though the ruling stated it was a permanent decision? How will his former team recover from the sudden loss of their primary driver and the negative publicity surrounding the scandal? On the flip side, how long will it take for our other driver to recover from this dangerous disorientation? Vertigo is notoriously tricky to treat, and rushing back could lead to catastrophic results on the racetrack. We have seen drivers struggle with lingering effects for months. I want to know exactly what you guys think about all of this chaos. Drop a comment especially about these two situations. Do you agree with NASCAR deciding to drop the hammer and issue a lifetime ban, or do you feel that a permanent suspension is stepping over the line regardless of the infraction? And what are your thoughts on the medical substitute stepping in with no practice to keep the team's playoff hopes alive? Your opinions always bring incredible perspectives to the table, and I read every single one. If you're a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are going to keep tracking all these stories as they continue to unfold. So, hit like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.